Hello there, and welcome to Book Talk, episode 14, Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation, volume 3. The story's sad now. We're all sad. Coming to you live from Wei Wuxian's depression. That is both of us right now. I have the Yiling Laozu hairstyle, which is just to have a pat down, which is a look I love from him. And Sam has the classic, which is also a fantastic look. We are going to be discussing volume 3. If you missed the first 2 volumes, you can go back and watch our previous book talks. Will be all linked down below and on our various channels. If you are interested in other book talks, go watch them. They're also on our channels where we do other books. And as we're waiting for people to trickle in, I totally forgot every single thing we ever talk about at the beginning of these. Hi, Storm, to get people into it. Or to walk away from. Is your claw stuck? 1 second. Technical difficulties. My cat is stuck on my chair. There we go. Good job, girl. This book talk was originally supposed to be half of a month ago, but due to me getting a short gig and then being on ADHD medicated for like half a week, it was delayed. It's really hard to read sad stuff when you know all the sad stuff that's coming and you don't want to read it. Who knew it's hard to read something when you don't want to read it? Never could have seen that coming. Rowan says, you guys look great. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not done. I just
had to be with me.
I've been having technical difficulties with my mic and stuff, but like I already knew that and I had a workaround and like that shouldn't have been an issue. But then I came in the garage then and I plugged my USB adapter in, and then my integrated webcam that comes with the laptop had me upside down. And so I had to figure out what was going on. So
you're giving that. Oh, I'm going to put up our spoiler tag because I almost made a joke. Also, there will be many, many, many spoilers today for the entirety of Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation, including the TV show and the anime and the audio drama and the book. So
you meant all forms of the media.
Yes, all forms of the media.
Right, because we're not on the final volume yet.
We're not on the final volume yet.
And I'm not allowed to look at chat because CV understands how, like...
people love talking about things, and I love talking about them too.
Yeah, and I'm, like, super sensitive to spoilers because of the way that I enjoy media, which makes me a big pain in the ass for a lot of my friends. But they indulge me anyway, and I appreciate
I say something. It literally keeps me up at night sometimes.
Yeah.
But I
only ever get upset if I ask somebody, I'm like, hey, please stop, or hey, I do consider that a spoiler, and then they fight me on it, because it's like, I get saying something because you yourself don't consider it a spoiler, or accidentally just something slipping because you're excited, and I don't hold that against people, but I have had to, like, oh my gosh, some people, anyway, not you, though. You and I have had like 1 or 2 discussions about it, but we've never like had a fight about it. So I don't want you to feel like I don't want you to ever feel bad about it. Cause like I said,
I appreciate that. I'm adding in tags.
Yes, please do. Because there was a non-communication with who was to set up today's streams. Typically, if they're like my book, I set them up. If they're CB's book, she sets them up, unless we're busy and then the other one just does it. I wasn't sure what time we were streaming today because I sent CB a message and then I fell asleep. And I assumed she set it up while I was asleep. And I think she assumed I set it up just because I'm generally quick to set them up.
Yes.
So we done not fucked up, but it's fine.
But it's fine. This is my choice.
Oh, yeah, very quickly, I will explain what book talk is since CB is going to summarize. It's already wild how differently my eyes look, and I've just started. But anyway, sorry. Book Talk is a book discussion series that CB and I do theoretically twice a month. One in the beginning half, one in the second half. Sometimes it gets altered and stuff because you know what? This is just a fun thing that we do, and we both have migraines and very busy lives for different reasons. But the idea is that CB picks a book that she really enjoys, and then I pick a book that I really enjoy, and the other one reads it. This way, there's always somebody kind of on the book side, regardless of how the other one feels about it. And this is just a fun way to force each other to read books and have fun talking about it.
Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead. I will be listening.
Hit paste, and then we're good to go. Awesome. So today's book, we pick up. Fuck, when do we pick up? We pick up right after our nephew, the universal nephew, Jinling. Also, disclaimer: a lot of mispronunciations will happen during the stream, as neither Sam nor I speak Chinese, Mandarin. But we will try our best. And if you ever want to correct our pronunciation on something, as long as you are respectful,
be polite and understanding. As I tell my husband every time he teases me about how I pronounce Spanish words, I am chronically Southern, is always going to have a tinge of an American Southern accent. I cannot stop that.
I'm just bad at pronouncing things. Of really any language. Okay, Storm, you can come hang out on the desk now. I was just moving the keyboard. So, our story begins. Our story continues after the reveal that Meng Yao, who is who's now like the head leader of the cultivation world, we discover that he killed the body pieces that we have been collecting this whole time, who belongs to Ni Mingju, who is an old sect leader, or not old. He was not old when he died. He was probably like late 20s. Rip. The previous sect leader of the Ni sect. That we've been going around in the modern day timeline, collecting different pieces of his body, trying to figure out what this mystery is and how it's tied to Wei Wuxian being brought back from the dead. And by we, I mean Wei Wuxian, the guy in red on the cover, and then Lan Wangji, who's the guy in the white on the cover.
The guy in black and red on the cover.
Sorry, his colors are black and red, and there's other characters that wear black, but not. I guess the Wen sect wears red. I don't know. Anyways, this book picks up after Jinling, after who's Wei Wuxian's nephew, and really the entire cultivation world discovers that Wei Wuxian has come back in the body of a disgraced cut sleeve, aka gay person. And they're like, wow, that's Wei Wuxian, let's kill him, because he obviously did all of the bad stuff, even though he was dead when it happened.
Speaking of cultural slurs for gay men, I've been watching this British crime show, and every time they say they need a cigarette or they need to go smoke, they're using the old British term for it, which is also a gay slur. And it's just so funny. And it's because they'll be like, hey, you got a fag? I'm like, yeah, in my closet.
I know I said like cut sleeve, and I'm pretty sure the term cut sleeve is like a super romantic origin, even if it's used in like a derogatory manner.
Yeah. But I mean, there are a lot of slurs that their original definition do not mean that. I think only racial ones typically don't have good origins or neutral origins. But like slurs for just about anything else, I'm pretty sure, were words for. Don't quote me on that, but from my experience with such words. So
Okay. I don't
yeah,
know. I'm moving on.
yes, go
So,
ahead.
it's revealed to the cultivation world that Wei Wuxian is back, but our boy Lan Zhan whisks him out of there after he is stabbed in the stomach by his nephew. This is done because Wei Wuxian is blamed for the nephew's mom's, aka the adopted sister's, death, and he was sad.
Okay.
So we're whisked away, and that was the end of last book. We open this book immediately with a flashback to the rising tensions in the cultivation world. I think
they did not prepare me for that. I was like, the fuck is going on? Where are we? Did I grab the right book?
And we get a look inside the Zhang sect, which is where Wei Wuxian and Jing Cheng grew up. And we get introduced to the fearsome Madame Yu, my opponent, my op. No, it's fine. Actually, I have so many feelings about her. And it is.
Madame Yu.
Did you say you love her?
I said Don't twist it.
I didn't. I only saw the L of the face.
Yes, I like her. She just has a problem. It's fine.
We can discuss this later. Like during the stream later.
I assumed.
She's in my notes. And with the Wen sect, which is like the most powerful cultivation clan, has sent out a thing to gather all of the young masters to the indoctrination camp, I think is what it's called. Or the re-education. Anyways, scary name.
They're concentration camps.
It's their hostage situations. So all the young master go, and they're basically their swords are taken away. They're treated like dirt, even though they're like most of them are used to this very noble upbringing and like deference towards them. So for them to be mistreated, a lot of them are like, what the fuck? During this, they're sent on night hunts to basically whittle down different creatures so that Wen Chao can deal the final blow and get all the glory. Wen Chao is the second young master of the Wen clan, and his power basically comes from his daddy's name and the fact that Wen Zuli, who's also known as the core melting hand, is with him. We'll get to that next.
Badass motherfucker, by the way. Hate that he had to be our enemy.
Yeah.
He got dealt such a shit hand.
And then Lanzhan, it's revealed that the cloud recesses, where we spent a lot of this first book, has been burned to the ground. The sect leader has been mortally wounded, dies. Lan Zichen, who is Lan Wangji's older brother, has gone into hiding, and Lan Wangji's leg has been broken, and his uncle is very injured. So Lan Wangji is doing all of this with a broken leg, which is relevant because they go and try and fight demonic beast, which is the Zanwu of Slaughter, which is a failed some sort of heavenly turtle that failed its ascent. So now it's not nearly as powerful, but it's also like super fucked up and has been hibernating for like 500 years after it went on a rampage and murdered hundreds of people.
I would like to add an aside. Like, I was reading that part of the book while I was playing a game on my phone, and you like can summon little creatures and stuff. And so as I got to this part of the book, I unlocked a stone turtle. This adorable little stone turtle that watches my flowers, and I was like, "This is funny." But
yeah, Leanne, I think the father's severely injured and also the uncle, but the uncle not as much. else, what the fuck would the uncle be doing? I think he's at least a little injured. And then when Chow, basically they realize what kind of situation they're in. When Chow escapes, blocks the exit, and then through a feat of heroism from Jing Chen, everyone manages to escape out through the waterway in this cave. But before Wei Wuxian, who was luring the creature out of the way so the passage was unblocked, before he could go into, the creature moved back, and it was only because of Lamaji saving. They kind of save each other a bunch of times, but Lamaji and Wei Wuxian end up stuck in this cave. Days pass. Lamaji is like super testy because his entire life just fell apart. And eventually they're like, we need to kill this so we can escape. They do, but during that, Wei Wuxian ends up inside the tortoise's shell and comes into contact with a bunch of resentful energy there. And in fact, touches a sword that seems to have collected a lot of this resentful energy over the long period of time, and the hundreds of deaths that were due to this creature. After 6 hours of continual fighting, I think it's 6, it might be more than that, they do kill this mythical being, but during the fight, they think some sort of the wall was damaged and the passageway was completely filled. And so they resign themselves to death, kind of. But they comfort each other in each other's presence despite this antagonistic relationship that they've had on and off. For it had been 2 years at this point since they first met. They're 17. And then we get a song that Lamanji hums for Wei Wuxian. That brings us. Does that bring us back to the present day?
For like half a second.
Yeah, we get back to the present day for like half a second. Wei Wuxian's being treated for his. I don't even know if we get back to the present day. No, we don't. Or maybe we did. Whatever. Anyways,
because I was like, oh, now we're in the present day, and then it continued, and then the next thing happens in the past, and I'm like, wait, what?
So Wei Wuxian and Lan Zhan are rescued, but Lan Zhan dips before Wei Wuxian even wakes up, which always hurts me. Which like makes sense, but I'm like, no, no, cement your bonding.
Like, I cannot get away from this motherfucker fast enough.
I can't get away from my emotions fast enough. More like, and
same thing.
Wei Wuxian wakes up in Lotus Pier, which is where the Jang sect is, and things get kind of like, it's an uneasy quiet within this brewing war and everything, and then it's no longer quiet because Wen Chao's mistress rolls up and she demands that Wei Wuxian get punished, which Madame Yu does. Give him a bunch of lashes from her magical whip, and then what is preparing to cut his hand off, and it's only when the mistress says that they'll be turning Lotus Pier into part of the Wen sect and it'll be like a office. Madame Yu's like, bitch, no.
Hold on. I don't actually know if she was preparing to cut the arm off. I know she was considering it, but I don't know if she was actually going to do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Because of how long she lingered.
I think she was going to do it, but I think Wei Wuxian was also like, oh, okay, yeah, do it to like save us.
Yeah, so, which, like I said, I want to talk about her later because I actually do like her.
Okay. I have mixed feelings about her. I think she's really cool, and I also hate her. But we'll get to that later. So she's like, bitch, no. A fight breaks out. It ends up, the one sect is waiting to ambush. Madame Yu sends away Wei Wuxian and Jing Cheng, uh, wrapping Zidane, her magical Zidian, around them both and sends them on a boat away, and basically like, I can't protect everyone, but I can protect my son. Orders Wei Wuxian to protect her son, sends them on away. They run into uh, the sect leader of the Zhang sect, and he's like, unwraps them. What's wrong? Finds out what's wrong, rewraps them, and then sends them on their way again, which is fucking hilarious. And then sends them on their way again, and they of course sneak back as soon as they can, and I overhear a conversation revealing that both of Jiang Chen's parents have died, and also witnessed the horror of the bodies of a bunch of all of the people of their sect, basically, piled up and dead. And the one sect speaking terribly about their family and like their last moments. Yes, Storm, this is a great time for you to get up on the desk.
Emotional support.
Yeah, which makes me sad every time I read it, because of course it does. That then they leave again, and Jang Cheng, with a lot of emotions, attacks Wei Wuxian and blames him verbally for what happened, but it is acknowledged that it would have happened probably either way. But they it's not a fight because Wei Wuxian doesn't fight back, but they end up
just an emotional release of energy and
they end up going, okay, we need to go back to where Madame Yu grew up, because that's where their older sister Zhang Yanli is. But on their way there, Wei Wuxian is getting food, but when he returns, he finds that Jiang Cheng is gone, and he thinks he's gone back to the sect to try and retrieve his parents' bodies, which he had talked about. So he runs back, and he discovers that with the help of Wen Ning, who is a Wen sect disciple he had one interaction with years ago and was nice to, which is like a mini flashback within a flashback, because MXDX love her flashbacks. Jiang Cheng's golden core, which is the source of all your power as a cultivator, has been destroyed, and he's been beaten. Wen Ning helps escort them both to Yiling, where we meet Wen Qing, who's Wen Ning's older sister and a like well-known doctor, and she's very high up in the Wen sect, but she's like a chill person, like not a terrible person. Like if you're gonna have a Wen in charge of your territory, you hope that it's her. And then Wei says, we can go to Boshin Senren, which is his mom's teacher, the immortal that lives on the mountain, and she'll help us. She'll give you a golden core back if you tell her that you're me. And so Jiang Cheng was blindfolded, sent up this mountain. But while that's a week later, in the city at the bottom of the mountain where they're supposed to meet up, Wei Wuxian is ambushed by Wen Chao, Wen Zuli, and the mistress lady, and they easily defeat him because he's not feeling well, and drop him into the burial mounds, which is basically the catch-all of fucked up shit we don't want to deal with in this world, and is absolutely overflowing with resentful energy. We then pick up 3 months later. Jiang Chen, with a working golden core and Lamaji have been hunting down, the Sunshot campaign has begun, which I love that name for it. The Sunshot campaign is all the major sects joining together to
shoot down the sun,
take down the Wen sect, which the symbol is the sun. And they come across or we see it happen from the mistress's perspective, but Wei Wuxian has been using resentful energy to work with spirits and ghosts and fierce corpses and all sorts of dastardly things in the dark. Very Halloween. Except more horror than spooky, scary skeletons. To absolutely fucking destroy, maul Wen sect people. And then they come upon the act of him finishing off Wen Chao and Wen Zuli. And Wen Chao is in an awful state, as he should be. And that's when Wei Wuxian, or that's when Lanzhan and Lian, and that's when JC and Lanzhan show up, and they realize what's happening. Lanzhan is third line showing up is his iconic "Come back to Gusu with me."
We gotta purify you.
Come back to Gusu with me. We have a failure of communication, and then I think that's when we pop back to the modern day for a little while, right?
Yes.
I literally read this today, and my brain's like, I don't know.
It's because popping back to the present honestly feels more disruptive than anything. It's like the past flows so well, and then we're back to the present randomly, and for no perceived reason. Like, all of the present could have waited.
What is supposedly the A plot. 3 poisons.
The present is the B plot in this book.
Ill wind. Okay, so I'm literally pulling up my copy of it.
I figured that's what you were doing. I finished.
You look great.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So then we do pop back to the present. We are in the cloud recesses. Oh yeah. I'm making a note. Where basically Wei Wuxian and Lanzhan have been hiding out while Wei Wuxian has been injured because the entire cultivation world is looking for them. We find out through some research with Lan Zichen that Meng Yao, who's Jin Gong Yao, who I just call Meng Yao because it's disrespectful and he deserves it. It's not actually well, it wouldn't be, but he perceives it as disrespectful, so I'm gonna be a disrespectful bitch. They find out that he has very cleverly used a hostile form of musical cultivation to blend in with a cleansing cultivation technique that's supposed to calm the mind, and that's how he, over the course of months, murdered Ni Mingju, my king that I wish got more page time. And then Lan Zichen is having emotions about this because Meng Yao is his sworn brother. And are they gay? And he's like, hey, I believe my brother believes you, but I believe Meng Yao. So we're kind of at a impasse here. I need evidence. And then he tells the story and plays his fucked up flute solo. He's like, oh, by the way, this cottage, this is where my mom spent her whole life her whole marriage in solitude because my dad saw her and fell in love with her and she didn't love him back. But she killed one of our elders for a reason that I don't want to investigate. And my dad married her
Probably
anyway.
so she wouldn't have to marry the dad, and it backfired.
Married her anyway. That's there's the prevalent fan theory that I agree with. We can talk about in a sec. But so my dad married her to keep her from being punished, but then locked her up in here for the rest of her life, and then he entered his own angsty zone. I mean, self seclusion for our whole lives, and was also absent. But also they had 2 babies at some point. Sure, that was
like he kept himself away from her. Not very away if they had 2 kids.
It is if it's the heir and the spare kind of sect leader duties. So, which I'm sure she was super, super into doing that with a man she didn't. Anyways, but she loved her kids, and then she died when Lanjan was 6, and he was sad about it and didn't understand the concept of death. And then
maybe wildly the dad was good at sex, so maybe she didn't actually mind that part.
Maybe. Then Lanji-ten plays a flute solo, and it's sad. And then he's like, I shouldn't have told you that, and then fucks off. Look, I love him, but he's also
he's a little bit of a ninny, but it's fine.
He's like, are you getting my parallels? I'm making parallels. Flute solo. And then okay.
Are you understanding what's going on?
Then Meng Yao shows up at the cloud recesses and is like, hey, we're looking for your brother and Wei Wuxian. Come with me. We're going to go talk about it. Also, I'm dropping this hint here for people to know about. Anyways, this is a thing that would be investigated. And then he fucks off. And then so Lan Zhichen follows him. And then Lanzhan and Wei Wuxian go investigate that thing they were just told about. And they go to the burial mounds where it used to be Wei Wuxian's haunt. Meeting our boy Wenning along the road, also having a cute scene where they're totally eavesdropping on this family, and flirting, getting hot and heavy. And then
so take off our headbands.
And then we get to the burial mounds. We're being sad. And then we come across the Neiman Slaughtering Cave, which is where we used to hang out. And it's just filled with children. So all of the juniors from a bunch of sects are tied up in there with immortal binding cables. They think they've been like someone. They think Wei Wuxian hired bad guys to put them here. He walks in, he lets them all out with with Lanzhan's help and Wenning's help. Among the juniors are the romantic we have the junior quartet, who we have been, my boys, I've been waiting for you. The Avengers assemble. This is my Avengers Endgame, is these 4 boys hanging out. We have the romantic, we have Jinling, we have Lan Xizhui, and then we have Lan Jingyi. And right as all the kids are like let out, then of course all the fucking adults from the sects show up. But except for Lan Zhitan and Meng Yao, I wonder why. Sounds like it was a trap. And Wei Wuxian is like, wow, people really do hate me. Flashback time. Yet again, because this book is just flashbacks stacked on
because the present is now the B plot. We need all the context.
Then we get a flashback at Phoenix Mountain, where it's a discussion conference event after the Sunshot campaign. Tensions are rising between Wei Wuxian and everyone else. He's responds to someone showing off by also being show off, except his is cunty. He goes and he's like, okay, I'll do the whole thing blindfolded. Goes, waits down on a tree blindfolded, and then did not remember the scene the way it actually is.
Is viciously assaulted and does not know how he feels about it. Like, part of him's like, I'm a little turned on, but also, excuse the fuck out of you. I've been so violated.
Yeah,
And then,
I didn't
like,
realize how many times he like resisted.
he on page is not okay with this. The
Like
only
I thought it
like
was
I think as a trauma coping mechanism, he was like, well, maybe she's just shy and I wouldn't want to embarrass her. And I'm like, sir, no.
no.
Baby boy.
My memory of that scene was a kiss, a surprise, and then he's into it. It's not like that. At all. No, that was just I don't know what version of it was in my head, but it wasn't that. I think that I have that for later. So this is we're almost done. That happens. He doesn't know who it is. He thinks it's a girl. Then he gets up and finds Lawanji punching trees and being, get away from me. I'm Batman. And then the two of them come across Jing Yunli and the Peacock, who was her prior fiance, which Wei Shen in the past punched, and the engagement ended. It was arranged marriage, and the Peacock is trying, but
he's trying so hard.
so poorly, and like in an awful way. But he's adorable. But also no. Um, it becomes a whole thing when the fuck ass cousin, that's the guy that was originally trying to show off before, shows up again, is a brat. Everyone's having emotional issues. Madame Jin ends up showing up. Yanli officially declares, she's like, that's my little brother. Yes, I'm getting involved. Which, awesome. And then the Peacock confesses that he wanted her to be there and then runs off into the woods and his mom chases him, fully like 20 something years old. And then there's a little bit more in the book. What is the fucking ending of the book?
Them being all like, I'm here to kill you because you fucked me over and you fucked me over and oh, you didn't fuck me over. I'm just here.
That happened much earlier. We get back to the Jang sect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we have Lamaji shows up. This is after the war. Come back to Gusu with me. Wang is drinking a lot and surrounding himself with ghostly beauties, and throwing flowers at Lamaji, but that's not part of his depression arc. And then
that's him.
Yeah, Langshan was like, come back to Gusu with me. Wang is like, ugh, fuck off. Goes and be sad around his sister. She emotes at him. We get a flashback to like his first night at Lotus Pier, which is super cute, and like the three bonding of them. And then he's like, oh, I'm gonna go back and look at that tree, and then he comes across a mysterious woman in rags, and that's the end of the book. So, what did you think?
Yeah, well, after I figured out which scene was past and which was present, because like, let me tell y'all, every time I planned to listen or read this.
Oh, you disappeared. Your voice of God is gone. Voice of God is gone. Bum, bum, bum. Let me see what in chat that we can look at.
Sorry, my phone went to sleep, so voice of God was disconnected. Did you hear any of what I said?
I heard every time you went to listen.
Oh, every time I went to read it, I was in the depths of like migraine hell. So that did not help navigating the timelines. But
What?
after, so I would like go back to re-listen to the beginning of something to be like, oh, okay, we did switch time and or location. But I enjoyed the fact that like we were given so much exposition and everything from history's point of view, and now we're getting it from the actual, like what actually happened, not just what was
Yes.
written by the victors. And I really enjoy when novels do that.
Mm-hmm. What are some of
So
the instances of that change that you can remember? We don't need anything in specific.
it's just like the way people described Wei Wuxian and
Yes.
what he did and stuff, and a lot of times like he's just playing it up, or he's just letting people believe what happened. So
He murdered all these people. Him
yeah.
being like,
Did I?
did I?
I
I wouldn't
don't remember
remember.
that. I mean,
But,
look, I murdered a lot of people. I don't remember those
when
ones
I
though.
read, yeah, when I read this for the first time, I wasn't used to any to the
Unreliable
style
narrators.
or like the different names and shit. It took me so long to realize that people having the same family name was a thing and that they were all different people. I knew they were different people, but like to get them sorted in my head, it was really hard. And the time travel was not helping, or like the time switching around was not helping. But I don't think it fucked me up as much because I did watch a lot of the show before I went in and read the novel, so I knew a lot of this. I almost every time, or every time I've experienced a story except the first, I've known what happened during the Sunshot campaign, like the entire past story in almost its totality, because the way the animated show is told, which is a decision. Um, Beautiful show though. I love the animation style. So yeah, confusion over the time. What else? Which feel
One of the differences is Wang Ying's characterization, which
yeah.
you already kind of knew from the present timeline that Wang Ying had to have been grossly mischaracterized, but then like you go back in the past and you're like, this poor little boy,
My baby boy.
this poor cinnamon roll.
He's just honestly the best. He's so sweet. And yeah, knowing like we're experiencing him as a fierce corpse.
And even as a fierce corpse,
Yeah,
questionable on the fierceness.
Um and the moment of them getting to the burial mounds and him putting his hand in the earth and going Gigi, and I'm like, ah, it's fine.
But yeah, so just overall, I enjoyed the book and the different things. I like the song thing being how he recognized him. I do think it is a little dirty that they kind of stopped bringing it up. The book that they dropped the juiciest crumbs. So it's like, oh, this is the book you could have figured it out in, and they stopped reminding you. And I'm like,
Oh, about the song?
yeah,
Well, I guess we didn't spend that. As soon as we got back to the present, it feels like he's like, oh, that's how.
yeah.
Yeah. So I do kind of wish we had a little bit to put it together before Wei Wuxian immediately goes like, oh, that's the song.
Like,
I don't remember if I figured it out or it or I got it spoiled from the beginning.
I figured it out, but I don't want to say like, oh yeah, no, I definitely figured it out, because like you said, it's literally like he does the song and then it's like, I know how, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you could have given me like 2 seconds.
um, yeah. What do you think of the progressing romance? Other than, we can talk about the kiss now.
Well, okay, look, Long G boy had some issues. But I like how the romance itself progresses minus that one scene. Especially like because Wei has I think Wei's figured out how he feels about Longy, and so now he's like being a little gremlin and a little menace about it. But he's exploring his own feelings now, like when they're, pushed against each other and stuff, and he's like, oh, I like this. I'm gonna keep us this way. You're like, I didn't have to do this, but that I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. So I enjoy that fact because I think the relationship has kind of been like Long G had unrequited affection for Wei. Wei wasn't like against it or anything. He didn't think about it being an option, but then he thought about it being an option, and now he's feeling like, maybe this is an option I can explore. And I'm like, I feel like that is how quite a few people do experience romantic attraction, is like there is a switch that they can be like, oh, this isn't an option, so I'm not gonna. But then like you choose to pursue it, or at least I feel like that's how I experienced romance. I always chose to pursue somebody and then let the feelings develop after that. So
I feel like Wei can look at all the symptoms right now and be like, okay, really, I enjoy these symptoms, but the actual cause, I don't know if he's letting himself acknowledge what it is, because I still think he has this inferiority complex. Like, this is not worthiness that kind of permeates his entire fucking story.
Yeah, that he's not good enough for Lan Wangji. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's definitely a little bit of that, but
yeah, so I think he knows, but he's not ready to acknowledge it. Like, he subconsciously knows, but he's not ready to be like,
honestly, I think he consciously knows, he's just not ready to accept it. So he's just not, because he's really good at compartmentalizing.
Yes.
So I think he knows. He's just like, no.
I'm not going to deal with that right now.
Yeah, we're not going to deal with that right now. We're just going to keep being us and having fun and just enjoy certain things a little.
We have a murder in the cultivation world. People are trying to murder me.
You're like, it's not the time.
And I want my nephew to like me, and I'm also sad about my child not being in my life anymore. How'd you feel about that?
Oh, yeah, he was like, there'd be a little one, and I'm like, did you adopt? Did you have a kid? I need more information on this.
When I was reading this, I'm going to say this spoiler free. Don't worry, I've thought about how I like to make sure.
Okay.
When I was reading this for the first time, the text messages and Snapchat videos I sent Rowan surrounding the little one.
The mystery of the little one
is insane. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, Rowan, this, like I've said before, Grandmaster is the reason Rowan and I are friends. Like, it's the, I picked them up from, like, in town when we were at college. And, like, we had one class together, but I had a car and it was bad weather or something, or it was night. And then they and their friends were watching Untamed, and I was like, I think I know this story. Because I had watched some of the animated show at that point, or read some of the comic, I don't remember. But I ended up reading the book and sending Rowan my live reactions. And the way I was like, Rowan. So actually recently isn't the first time Rowan's gotten lots of emotions from me over a piece of media.
See, for me, with the little one, I could easily see it be.
Oh, you're gone. You're gone. You're gone. And I was so interested in what she was going to say. I know she'll say it again in a second. Oh, you're back.
So with the little, I have to play with my phone apparently. With the little one, I could see it easily being a thing of he found a child or he found a baby and decided this is his child now and that he will take care of them, especially during a war-torn time, and it could have reminded him of the situation that he was in with his parents having died and stuff. Or see, I have a much harder time believing he fathered a child just because like we know that when he was 20, he was like, I've never even had a kiss.
You being like virgin.
What?
Yeah.
So it's like unless that
Yeah. And he
that
died.
like triggered something in him, but he dies shortly after that. So it's like it just timeline was it doesn't make sense for him to have actually fathered a child.
Yeah.
But I really want to know what it is because it can't be like a niece or a nephew because like I don't think it would have just I think it would have
And his
just said
nephew's like right over there.
yeah, right, it's like his nephew is a teenager, but so yeah, so unless like between the kiss and the time he died he fathered an infant and didn't get to spend a lot of time with them, is definitely some sort of found child that he's blocking out hardcore from the narrative.
Yeah.
Rudely.
The fact that the little one isn't mentioned up to this point is wild. And I don't think he's mentioned because I definitely would have, you would have like noticed. And
Oh, I would have fucking clocked that shit. Like,
because I know, obviously. And I've been, yeah, every stream. I'm like, I cannot wait until we get to this.
great dad though, which is the sad part. Like he would have been an amazing parent in my opinion. So
and I didn't realize we don't get to it until the last book of the main book because I think book 5 is extras.
yeah, I think so too.
And so I'm like, okay, I know all that's going to happen in the next book. I know for this book, I was like, oh, I don't remember like what happens like now and what happens later. Now I'm like, well,
we've only got one book left.
we only got
next time, Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation Z.
CB loses her fucking mind. Oh, cool.
Well, as far as Madame Yu goes,
yeah.
The reason I like her is because there's only really one thing wrong about her, and that's that she takes things out on Wei Wuxian. At which, like, for the circumstances that they have, like she's in this political marriage. She has done her duty in giving the heirs, and then her husband shows obvious favoritism to the child of a woman that he liked a lot more than his wife, regardless of whether it was romantic or not. So that puts her in like ethically, socio-politically, and just like he's humiliating her, he's shaming her every time he treats Wei Wuxian better than he cheats
I think
Run
James
Chang.
Hyman is worse than Madame Yu because he's a fucking coward. But I don't like her either.
Yes.
They're both bad, like bad parents. Don't let them near children.
But I think she did a pretty good job with her biological kids.
I don't think so. She tears down her daughter at every chance.
Does she?
Yes.
I get like well then yes, she's a terrible mother.
She's also the one that pits everything every time Wei Wuxian does anything. And this comes from the way that the sect leader, the dad, favors Wei Wuxian, but every time Wei Wuxian does anything, she goes to Jiang Cheng and goes, why couldn't you be doing that? Look at him. He's the son of the servant. You're son of the sect leader. You should be better. And like I think she's not solely responsible, but she definitely stoked the flames of the
Yes, I think I definitely missed her tearing her daughter apart, which could be the migraines, and I could have got her and somebody else mixed up then. I do think she cared for Wei Wuxian on a level, which is why I don't believe that she would have actually cut off his hand.
Okay.
And I think that's also because she could have taken Wei Wuxian with her and like tried to bargain, like, oh, we'll just kill him and then like spare me and my husband. But she sent him off with her son. And I don't think that was solely in a, oh, you have to protect my son. I think, like, I don't think she loved him like her own, but I do think she had a fondness for him.
I think at that point it was past the point of she was so slighted by their presumption, and she is smart, like she is aware that, oh fuck, they didn't even tell us they're making this a office, like there's no way I can talk myself out of this or really fight out of this. And I know that Wei Wuxian will give his life for my son, and all I care about is my son getting out of here. I do think she cared about her kids. She just about.
Yeah, well, she's definitely. I feel like she's a complex mother figure because I do feel like she loved her children. She just, because of the world they lived in, she, in her own way, she was trying to do what was best for them. It just was not. Yeah, she wasn't doing it correctly.
Yeah, I think she's really cool, and I hate her.
No,
but
fine.
I hate the dad more, and I don't think he's cool. I think he's a weak piece of shit.
I've got nothing positive to say about the dad.
Literally nothing. Like
nothing. But with Madame Yu, I can at least see the complexity of her character, and much like Maleficent, she is justified by the societal conventions of their time. But
yeah, Leanne said Madame Yu gives Caitlin Stark energy.
Yeah. Well, no. I don't think Caitlin Stark. I would actually argue, what is her name? Cersei. I would argue she's more like Cersei.
I would do more Caitlin Stark. Just the whole, like, you're a result of my husband's infidelity to me, but I'm being asked to raise you.
Oh, like that? Okay.
Except it's not confirmed infidelity. It's not infidelity in either of them, but it's unconfirmed versus a lie.
She's really just mad about the fact people won't shut up about it. She's like, ugh. She's like, I know you didn't, but you're also not doing anything to shut people up, and that's a problem for me.
Saying no, you didn't. No, I didn't. Like, you're letting people think this, which is disrespectful to supposedly the person who was your best friend, aka Wei Ying's father.
Disrespectful to everyone.
Yeah.
And I love that Wei is also offended by this.
Yeah. Madame Yu is a big reason for the insecurities Zhang Cheng has with being constantly compared to, I think the role of women in this story is interesting. Yanli, I know Wei Wuxian loves her a lot, and I'm glad. I had forgotten that she does have moments of her character growth, like standing up to everyone, and saying like, no, this is my little brother and everything, because so often, at least in fandom, for this fandom, she gets reduced to kind of just this one-dimensional mother figure, caregiver role, and less about an actual human. And I'm glad when rereading canon that depth is there. Yeah. So that's my. But especially during the Phoenix Mountain confrontation, I was worried about her being just like, oh no, like, the guys don't fight. And then the fact that she isn't like that in that scene, I was like, oh, good, okay, yeah.
No, she's like, y'all can fuck off.
Like the fact that she got the whole thing, the flashback within a flashback of the story about the food in the war and everything, and she just starts crying. Where I'm like, honestly, yeah, she's probably really fucking worked up because her whole family is dead and she's just trying to help and just trying to do this nice thing for a guy she likes. And then he's like, you'll never understand hardship when her whole family just fucking died.
I'm done with you, sir.
Yeah, she's crying at that. Yeah. But I do think that Wei Wuxian, yeah, it's established that she's dead. Dead wifeifies her a bit. I do think she's awesome and everything, but he comes to her aid too much, or almost like the way JC and Wei Wuxian deal with Yanli, it feels almost like they don't believe in her ability to protect herself, and I think that is partly because Madame Yu tears at her in front of them for not being cultivation strong and being able to protect herself. Like, she isn't physically strong. Well, she's physically stronger than you or I or any mortal, but her cultivation base is not great. And I
They're
think
like that with everyone who has weak cultivation. That's part of the biggest reason that people tear Jing Chen down, because they're like, Wei Wuxian can't cultivate for shit and he's still kicking your ass. What's up, bro? So yeah.
who are you referring to?
Like, that's part of the comparisons between the two.
He can't cultivate for shit. What do you mean?
Wei Wuxian can't cultivate normally. That's why he takes the demonic path.
Oh, people don't really compare them as much until later. I thought you were talking about when they were growing up. That comparison. Or are you talking about post?
I thought, because like it back in volume 1 when they went to Gusu,
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were compared back then, and Wei Wuxian could not, like,
No.
he
Okay.
couldn't cultivate.
So Wei Wuxian is one of the best spiritual cultivators of their generation. He's born with a innate talent, and he's really, really, really fucking good at spiritual cultivation. Zhang Cheng is compared to him because he's not inherently a prodigy, but he works really hard.
Yeah.
So he's still really fucking good, but he'll never be Wei Wuxian.
Yeah.
And so Wei Wuxian didn't touch resentful energy and demonic cultivation until the burial mounds. He thought about it at the cloud recesses and was immediately shot down. And then in the Zenwu slaughter, he interacted with resentful energy, but didn't use resentful energy. And then after the
He was a little resentful at being sent to the
and then when he's dropped into the burial mounds, as of this point, we do not know what happened, but afterwards he comes out using resentment.
No, we know what happened. He found a cave with a book that had forbidden techniques.
That was a joke, right? That didn't happen.
I don't know.
Um,
I honestly, like, I don't think that's what happened. I would not be surprised if that is what happened.
yeah.
So,
The golden core removal, the core crushing hand, Wenzuli, is a scary ass villain to have in this kind of world. Yes. What were your thoughts about JC's loss of the core and everything?
is fixed too quickly to be truly meaningful. Like the fact, so here's the thing. The idea that like his parents lost their core and then went from being these super powerful people to being like really slaughtered very quickly. That is horrifying. Yeah. And that's like emotionally devastating. And then sort of like JC then losing it, like, yeah, you've got a little bit of time where it's like, oh no, that's terrible, but like we're in a flashback and in the present we know that he has powers, so it's like it's gonna be fixed.
Yeah, we have a little bit of him.
I think it was an interesting decision to have him pretend to be Wei Wuxian to get it fixed.
Oh, because of the
yeah. But also, I'm pretty sure it happened off page, right?
Yeah, so we drop him off at the mountain, and then we pick up with Wei Wuxian not feeling well later, and then he's ambushed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just sort of like, oh, this is a terrible thing that happened. Oh, to get it fixed. Shoo shoo.
He's suicidal. Okay, let's move on from that.
Exactly. So I didn't have a lot of deep feelings on it, really.
Yeah. What'd you think of the let's see, the Zanwu slaughter, that hole in the cave and everything, with the two of them trapped in there for the first time, them being like alone with each other's presence outside of sex.
I feel like that's when Lan Wangji's feelings cemented, and that's why he uses his fucking mind later.
The fact that
I didn't like it because, as you know, I'm here for romance, and that is the most romance I got in this book.
Yeah. The fact that Wei Wuxian is like, oh, I need to give him a fright. Let me start tearing at his clothes and then tearing at my own clothing is fucking wild. Every interaction with the ribbon now, knowing that only your spouses and family members can touch it, now knowing that is just so funny, especially because we get that info right before that scene, or like in the previous book, near the end of the previous book, and we just see like, oh, I'm gonna grab that, let me just touch it, let me just, and everyone else knows this, and it's so funny for me that Wei Wuxian
no one will tell him either. Like
he doesn't. Like, no, it's fine.
There have been opportunities. I think someone, correct me if I'm wrong, I think someone even tried to tell him, and he's like, no, it's fine.
Started explaining it, and then Lan Zhan was like, no, it's fine. Like, literally.
Bro, don't, no, it's fine. I'm like, boy, wanted him to keep doing it.
Yeah, he's like, no, I like it. I like it when he touches me in the thing that he's not supposed to touch.
It's fine. It's fine.
Shout out to the live action show where they have it's a whole different plot over there, but they have it's wild. They have this whole sequence where they're in the cave. So we get the cold pond at the cloud recesses in the book, and then they slip underground in the show because the ground, and they end up in an underground cave where the stringed instrument, nope, can't pronounce it, is there. Yeah, and it's letting off spiritual energy, and it's throwing Wei Wuxian back because he's not registered as a Lan sect member. And so Luowenji takes off his forehead ribbon and then ties their wrists together. And then so they're both protected. And then they go forward.
He's even remembered now.
A Lan sect ancestor pops into existence and they bow to her, which is during the show they do the 3 vows like of marriage, and that's just one of them. And it's also the fact that like you're not supposed to wrap it around like anyone to touch it, and everything. So I just that is so funny that they're like, hey, this is the marriage ribbon. Okay, we're gonna wrap it around them right now. Guys, get it. It's gay. We can't say it's gay, but it's gay. Censorship.
No, it's gay. We know it's gay. Everyone knows it's gay.
But yeah, we also in that we have the jealousy of Lamanji with the Mian Mian, and then we got it a bit with Wending with drunk Lamanji, and then we got the whole like just his entire thing with Mian Mian, being like, "Oh, you like her?" And Lamanji's like,
Yes,
he's
her.
so pretty, but
That's
he's
who
so
I like.
Wei Ying continues to be a absolutely amazing good person. With him like taking the brand for her. When also the fact that out of all those young masters, only two of them didn't let her just get murdered. Because I know there's like so much pressure on like their actions will reflect back on their sect and everything. But it was just kind of like one of those. There's a lot of mob mentality in these books.
Yes.
And the horrors that can be done when you're in the anonymity that comes with being in a crowd.
They're not even subtle about it.
Yeah.
Like, because that one guy that was all like you didn't even do anything to me. I'm just here to show you that if you go against the world will go against you. And I'm like,
damn, fuck off, man. And then
like, not even you did absolutely terrible things, and therefore I don't think you should be free. No, it's you're trying to be different, and I don't like that.
And then we do get, at least in that scene, then we do get like Wei Shen being like, "Oh, this has happened before, but this time I'm not alone." Like him having Lamanji there, is amazing. And then the last point on my little list is talking about Madame Lan, Lamanji's mom. The main theory in fandom is that the elder tried to essay her, and she killed him. And then that ties into like a crime that wouldn't be like that wouldn't be something that would be publicized in the cultivation world, because the Lan have this image of purity and righteousness and doing what's right. And so a crime like that brought to trial would make the sect look really bad. And the sect leader, the dad, coming in and basically doing the only way he would be allowed to marry her kind of thing is if it saves them face. They deal with the unknown scandal of the sect leader and the new sect lady going into seclusion, but they don't have to deal with this scandal of one of their elders having attempted to assault someone. And the fact that like just the absolute ick from him using, it's really hard to not view it as him using this terrible situation to marry the woman that he loves that doesn't love him.
I understand fandom wanting to give him the benefit of the doubt. However, I think that's what he did. Like,
wait, giving who benefit of the doubt?
But their dad.
Oh, yes, I agree. I also think he's an absolute awful person. I don't think it gives him the benefit of the doubt at all.
But like, oh, sorry, I misunderstood what you meant then when you said the absolute ick. It's like fandom would rather it be him saving her from execution or something, because otherwise it portrays him in a really terrible light. And I'm like, no, I think he's just terrible.
Oh, no. The absolute, like, people being like, there's no way that he isn't super being scummy and slimy here.
Oh, he is 100%.
Yeah, and then with Lan Zichan being like, I don't want to know. being like, um,
I think she just assassinated the elder because it was like a war-ish time. It was turmoil.
I don't think it was. I wish we got more about her history. What makes you think it's a warish time? A wartime?
Um, like that's just the setting of the universe.
I think
Like
the
the
setting
clans are the clans until post Sunshot campaign, they didn't have peace.
they did have peace. They had peace, and the when were the issue. It was a very slow, like, we have peace other than the when
Yeah, but that's
slowly
not peace
began.
then.
But there
That's
wasn't conflict, or we don't hear anything about conflict between the other great sects or minor sects.
I'm pretty sure we did. In the first book when they were talking about like the different issues and stuff, like pre-Sunshot campaign and then during the like that the one clan that's a issue with the winds.
The ones that the mistress is from?
I think so. But which one's she from?
I don't know, some random place that never gets mentioned. 1 second.
Well, it's also like in a cultivation set like this, like they're hunting demons and yokai and stuff every night, right?
Yeah.
And so like that automatically kind of makes it warring-ish. I'm not using the right word, I think, but it's a tumultuous time, right? Because they have to like protect people from supernatural things. And
Mm-hmm.
also there are certain like politics and stuff going on. And that's why the clans intermarry to try to keep peace or to broker peace
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. And so like the impression I got was that there was like minor strife and stuff in
Okay.
between the
Yeah.
clans and whatnot. And then the Sunshot campaign happened. Well, no, and then the Wen clan essentially became tyrants and sort of took over. And then the Sunshot campaign happened to stop them. And then ever since then, there has been nothing but peace between the clans. But there was not peace between the clans before that because that's what like makes now notable.
Yeah, I think that there wasn't a united, like, the
Yeah.
at least facade of being united and the intercommunication of nowadays. But though, like, Cloud Recesses still did the study in Cloud Recess has been a thing like for years. Discussion conferences have been a thing. I do think there was a intermingling. Like, I don't think it
Yeah.
was to the
No,
point where
all I'm saying is that like so if for whatever reason a different clan was like, "Oh, if like we kill this guy, like things would be better because he's kind of shitty." I would not be surprised. Whereas like now it would be like, "Oh, hey, you can't do that because we're all united." Whereas back then it's like, "Oh, so and so killed this person from my clan." And then it's like, y'all deal with that." So,
yeah, I do understand where that theory comes from. I'd never
I'm
thought about it as like what the tensions like 15 years before our first story in the book, like even the flashbacks begin.
yeah.
Or I guess it would be more like 20 years beforehand because ZG10 is older. But
I
yeah,
just don't I just didn't see anything. And in a book series like this, I don't think they would have shied away from mentioning or implying that she was defending herself against something like that.
yeah, I think it's very, very left up with it would be something. I think it's purposely not said because it's something that ZG10 doesn't want to know. or Zichen doesn't want to know. And then with the...
Yeah, but I still feel the narrative would tell us, even if he doesn't want to know.
It might be told later, I don't remember.
That's fair.
But definitely, I do think it is something that would make the Lawn sect look bad.
Oh, it is 100% would make the Long sect look bad if that were the case. I mean, the Long sect already kind of looks bad with locking her away and whatnot.
No, I think the reason that she killed him is something that would make the Lawn sect look bad.
Yes, I agree. Okay. I'm just saying that, like, they already look bad because of that. And so if that were the reason, then yes, they would look even worse. Just that.
Yeah, the looking bad to us versus looking bad to the cultivation world, I was confused for a second. I'm like, the cultivation world don't know she was locked away. They think she was just, like, sick or some shit.
A recluse?
Yeah, like, literally they talk about, like, Wei Wuxian is like, they thought she was defigured or something. Which, the casual being like, oh yeah, if she has a disability, we would just lock her away and no one would see her.
I think if it was something terrible and she wasn't just assassinating an elder because that was a mission, I think Wei Wuxian would have had in the narrative something like, in order for that to have been justification, she must have killed the elder and they were for something terrible and they were covering up so that the Long clan could save face. And, like, because that's kind of how the narrative tells us things, is that Wei Wuxian makes these great leaps in logic, these very vague leaps in logic, so that the reader knows, oh, there's something going on here. Yeah. So that's part of why, like, I'm very hesitant to think anything like that without it being implied or hinted at on page.
Yeah, I don't think it's canon, but I do like the fan theory. I think the fan theory could be canon compliant, but I don't, like, I'm not being like, oh, that is canon. Canon that I don't like.
I dislike
this fucking novel.
I will say I dislike the fan theory because I dislike the idea that a woman would be punished for defending herself in such a situation. And that's part of why I reject it.
Okay, yeah, I also don't want her to be punished, but I'm like, yeah, I can see one of these, like, stuffy, fucked up sects doing that, even the Lawn sect. There's
already so much shitty things going on here. I don't think we
don't need to add more. Let's see. Let me check to see if there's anything in chat that we can talk about that I've missed while we're doing the oh, what do you think of Ni Hoseng, the fan guy, the head shaker?
Oh, the head shaker? He's still sus. I mean, he wasn't really in this book, so my opinion has not changed from volume 2. Motherfucker still sus, still mildly convinced he's the true mastermind. Don't ask me why.
Let's see.
But no, there's more to that motherfucker than what is going on. I don't know what. But I'm convinced of it. If I get through this entire series and he literally is just what he seems to be, I'm gonna be so upset.
You're like, no, rejected.
No, this isn't true. Excuse me while I go read the director's cut where it shows that he is in fact the true villain. But yeah, no, I 100%, ever since he came on page, I've assumed he was shady and that there's something up with him. So
Lungi has already composed the song. He's already so far in love. I think he's in infatuation at this point, but having composed Wang Xian at that point.
Yeah, he's got a little crush.
I think he has, like, during the cloud recesses and everything, I do think he develops feelings for Wei Wuxian, but I don't think he falls in love. Like, I don't think it was instant love or anything like that. Instant infatuation.
There's stages of affection, which a lot of people kind of forget that when they read romance, is that it's like there's stages of affection, and honestly, what a lot of people refer to as love at first sight is really they're like attracted or infatuated. And then like those feelings grow deeper and they eventually do fall in love. But like because it's like hindsight's 2020, oh, I'm madly in love with you now, and I've had feelings for you since the first time we met. So it was love at first sight. When that's really like I think people contribute the ending to the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So
we have Rowan thirsting, I'm assuming, over Burial Mound's Wei Wuxian. In every version, he's extra sexy when he's depressed.
Oh!
They just look at him. Look how much titty is showing in this. He just is so sexy when he's the
Look, out of context, I'm just like, why is Rowan thirsting over dead trapped zombie Wuxian?
No,
I know it's not actually a zombie, but then you're like, he's so much sexier. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind. Context
the
doesn't need.
Yes, the junior quartet, Wei Wuxian's ducklings.
His new children.
Peacock's cousin thinks he's the main character. Leanne asks, was it a surprise to you that Wei Wuxian has never kissed anyone before? No. No.
Honestly, again, I'm going to say things that CB won't enjoy. I, since he has come onto page, have related to Wei Wuxian's personality so hardcore.
I relate to Wei Wuxian a lot.
Yeah, but you always get mad at me when I say I relate to a character you want to thirst over.
Yeah, but I don't. It's not thirsting over Wei Wuxian. It's like it's appreciation of his physical beauty, and then wanting to be him, but also relating a lot to him. So there's no you can relate to Wei Wuxian.
Yeah. So, and one of the things that, as I said, Wei and I have in common is that we are irredeemable flirts. But just because flirting is fun, because other people's reactions to flirting is great. So the fact that like he's this insatiable flirt who has in fact not done anything, I'm like, that is
amazing. Leanne says, in the show in the scene, Yan Li uses the word for blood brother for Wei Wuxian, not Marshall's Zek brother. So
that's precious.
Not Didi instead, just Didi, I think. I know it's like a thing that Wei Wuxian refers to her as Shiji instead of Gigi. Yeah. Leanne asked, who do you think the woman at the end is? Do you have any theories?
Okay, so timeline-wise, we are in the past.
Yes. Post-Sunshot campaign.
I'm trying to remember. Because I had two guesses. One, part of me says Madame Yu, but I don't actually think that that's Madame Yu. I don't remember who the other is. So I'm going to say Madame Yu, or it couldn't be the sister at this point because the sister is.
We just saw her a second ago.
Yeah, we just saw her. She's still fine. See, that's the problem. I'm trying to remember where everyone is at this point in time. Ming Ming, maybe? That was her name?
Mian Mian?
Perfume pouch?
Yeah, Mian Mian. We don't actually know her name. That's her name.
Maybe he has a baby with Min Yet Min. Maybe he and Perfume Patch Girl have a baby.
I'm laughing at you attempting to say her name, not at your theory. Leanne said, I always thought Madame Yu didn't hate Wei Wuxian as much as she said. She certainly dislikes him, and I thought it's more that she hates the situation surrounding him.
Yeah.
I think she hates what he represents.
Yeah, that's my thing. That's why I said I think she's kind of fond of him. I think she's in a very complex situation where she was fine with Wei Wuxian himself and she was okay with him. But the more the situation and the more the thing is, she feels she can't be okay with him because of everything he represents and all of the things. Like, I think if people would stop saying that he's her husband's
bastard,
yeah. Like, it would be a lot better. And if he stopped showing up her son, which I will say, part of the reason I'm a little more lenient on her for the tearing down thing is because I know that, like, that is a very big cultural difference between Chinese parents and American parents, because, like, here that's perceived as absolutely terrible and everything, but it is a form of a love language in a lot of Asian cultures. The idea is that, like, essentially words of affirmation and being soft will weaken your children. And so you have to build them up to be stronger and tougher. And that is how you take care of them and show that you love them. So, whereas, yes, it's still not good parenting. I feel like culturally, I don't want to be too hard on it, since this does come from a Chinese woman in China. So.
I still don't like her.
You don't have to like her. I'm just explaining where I am coming from. Or I feel heavily judged by you specifically.
I'm not clicking on that.
Commenter she didn't click on. You two should feel heavy. No, I'm kidding. I'm just messing with her.
Leanne. No, I like the discussion, Leanne. I just not clicking on it.
No, she's protecting me. She's being my helicopter daughter.
All right, this is a big one. I think what made Wanji infatuated when he first met Wei Wuxian is, 1, Wuxian matched him in skill, 2, wasn't intimidated by him, and 3, he's so far outside Wanji's norm that he grabbed his attention. I agree. I think those are point. What?
Those are the reasons that my husband liked me.
Fuck off. But him being
You tell me to fuck up. No, literally though. I asked him when we were teenagers, I was like, what do you even like about me? And he said essentially it was that I stood up to him, I didn't take his shit, and I challenged his ego. So I'm just saying.
Anyways, I feel so slighted by this fucking book that we didn't get to see in the book their first meeting. In every other adaptation, it is a beautiful fucking scene, and then in the book, it's like, no, we get one line mentioning that it happened.
Is it in volume 5, maybe?
Maybe it's in the extras or something.
That would be volume 5, right?
Yes.
I'm not going to check the summary, but you could always double check the summary if volume 5 is just extras. You know I don't read summaries.
I have volume 4 on my shelf. My uncle accidentally bought me volume 4 of...
See where volume 4 ends.
Don't look at my face as I do this.
Okay. I will stare instead at the not lotus on my forehead. I was just trying to go with flower-esque thing. Because, like, I wanted to do the... What's it called? Kuyong style, like, inspired by it, but I have forgotten if, like, the specific flowers on the forehead had any meaning, and I didn't want to accidentally use a flower that, like, I shouldn't. So I was just like, just the vague hint that this is a type of flower. So, because, like, I don't think it's cultural appropriation to do makeup inspired by cultures and stuff, if it's just makeup because it's just a form of decoration. But if the makeup has cultural significance or meaning, then I do think one has to be very respectful and intentional and make sure that you are using it appropriately to its meaning. I'm trying not to look at you, but you looked up at me and thus we made eye contact. Stop crying.
I keep opening up to the wrong part.
She doesn't want me to look at her, but then she makes eye contact with me. So, but I was just like, when getting decorated for this stream, I was like, I feel like Wei Wuxian would have pretty makeup. So
he would.
Yeah, well, I will say at first I debated doing the terrible makeup he describes in the first and second book, but I don't have any white foundation.
Okay, I think this. What else? What I see. Oh, it has the conclusion and the extras. Yeah, I was reading the last page, and I'm like, is this where it ends? Also, I don't know if I've ever read the ending of this book. I was talking to Rowan about it later.
Hold on. So volume 5 has the end and the extras, which means we're not actually finishing up next time.
So
you lied to me.
To double check that.
Okay.
Do I need to do this right now?
You have the EPUB for volume 5.
Oh, right. I could just I'm doing this on my computer. Scroll back. Oh, there it is. It's so bright. Storm wants to be fed so bad, and it's really funny.
Blinded by the
light. Totally fully has 3 more chapters.
Okay.
Oh my god, yeah, fully needs still the climax of the novel. I was like, oh, let me click on one of the chapters to see if it's just like, resolution. I'm like,
so you'll still have to hold back next time.
Yeah, but I don't think I think I'll just be holding. Yeah, but I think most of the stuff I know, because again, I don't know if I ever read the ending. I know the ending.
Does mean though, theoretically, this year we will finish off Grandmaster.
Yes, I was.
Because it should be December.
I thought you meant by the end of a year from now, and I'm like,
this year we're still in 2025, bitch. December, instead of doing volume 5, she picks a queer romance or a queer holiday book.
No. The fact that, oh my god, the bunny scene.
That's so cute.
As they were leaving the cloud recesses and all the fucking bunnies are like begging for Momonji's attention is so adorable. Love a man with animals.
Wei Wuxian, he's just like, damn, they all love you so much. You must have spoiled the shit out of them. And
it's like, yeah,
it's like, well, if you stop threatening to eat them, they may love you too.
Also, he would love anything you give him. Sorry, I just realized what I said. Like the other ways that could be applied, but I can't fucking say. I'm going to go back and watch our streams, and compile a list of everything that I was like, oh, I wish I could say something, but I'm not. And then we're gonna play the clip, and then I'm gonna respond to it, and that's gonna be the whole.
So it's gonna be a special bonus part of volume 5. So you have 2 months to get those clips. Oops.
But that requires me listening to myself speaking, and I do in fact hate that.
It sounds like a you problem.
Rowan, I have a job for you.
You could bribe Rowan somehow.
Rowan, I'll write Weak Hero fan fiction for you.
See?
Can you hear her screaming? Do you have any other things you would like to say?
I was literally about to ask you.
Your Honor, I love them. They need more Secret Identity fan fiction. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, also, I can't get over the fact that Phoenix Mountain was like that. I just read our titles. And
I would like to say that I mildly fucked up when I put the red dimples on. It kind of follows like my thing. However, I have a real dimple on this side. I should have painted that.
It totally goes into the one on this side.
I only have a dimple on one side, so.
Oh,
Sorry, wait, no.
Reading the back of the book.
My dimple is right here.
Oh my god, is there art of that scene? I think there is, right? Does that become later?
So, we're done for today.
I know to put this down because I'm just gonna start reading it and sitting there.
Next time, which should be tomorrow, for All Halloween, because All Hallows Eve is technically tonight. So for Halloween, we are going to discuss In the Forest of the Night by Amelia Atwater Rhodes. It is technically book 1 in the Den of Shadows series, which wasn't actually considered a series until I think book 4, because they all take place in the same universe, sort of in the same timeline, but otherwise the stories of each are not connected. But this is a book I read when I was 12. In the back of the book, in the about the author, it said she wrote this book when she was 12 and it was published when she was 13. And so 12-year-old Sam said, I did. I took that personally. I said, I can do this. And that's how I started on my journey to become a novelist. So this also, if you read this book, a lot about how I handle vampire fiction can be gleaned from this novel specifically.
I think it's funny that you're like, this is what inspired me to become a novelist. And I'm like, this is what inspired Rowan and I to have friends. Or be friends!
Previously, before Grandmaster, neither of them wanted friends. They were like, fuck friends. Then they were like, you know what? Instead of being Long Lunchy, let's be Wei-Wuxian.
But Leanne said they're like bonus stream.
To be clear, I said a bonus section of the stream.
So I interpret it as bonus video where I actually record and edit a video.
Oh, that is up to you.
Yeah,
like you could record and edit the video and then we could play it on stream.
But then I'd still have to witness myself. I'm joking.
I love that. At least you'd get to witness me talking about you.
Yeah.
And your reactions to things. But yes, so we will we do apologize for the very short notice. It's just as CB said, she had a job and then migraines for both of us, and then her ADHD medication. This poor girl has been suffering. I
haven't gotten anything done in like a week, and it's kind of killing me.
But this is a very short book. I think it's less than 200 pages.
Okay, awesome.
Like, hold on. This is...
Oh my god, it's marked as, for context, on my e-reader, Grandmaster, the volume we just read, was 9,400 something little pages according to the e-reader. This one's 271.
Yeah, see, what I was about to say is, see this book, this is Hawk Song. I'm pretty sure Hawk Song is longer. But yes, I look very forward to it. It is because this is a vampire novel that I specifically picked for October, because Halloween, that we're doing the streams back to back instead of just pushing them like we normally would. So also, like I said, because it's a really short book and Stevie reads quickly. And I used to read this book annually.
The way I spent maybe 3 hours yesterday trying to get through like a paragraph and a half of Grandmaster, and then today with my meds just posted up in bed and read the entire rest of the book in like 3.5 hours. Rowan got to witness my commentary. The power of drugs. Hey, prescription. I'm prescribed by a doctor that has a degree. Awesome.
Also found the settings for my read aloud so I could speed them up. So books won't take as long if I, But all right. So hopefully we'll see y'all tomorrow. And thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye.